Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sneha Nair and today we are going to start off with semester 5 physical chemistry paper number 303. And as you all know, already we have completed a lot of many different topics. That is, we have already taken into account the zeroth law of thermodynamics, the basic introduction regarding why we are studying thermodynamics and what are the basic advantages and disadvantages leading to the thermodynamic study. And also, we have already completed with the Clausius-Clapeyron equation, which holds up as one of the most important answer according to your Gujarat University syllabus. Now, in this particular series of video, we are going to study the Van 't Hoff isochord. Now, what exactly do we mean by Van 't Hoff isochord? Let's just get started with the entire study of why was there a need to discover the Van 't Hoff isochord. Now, as you all know that Van 't Hoff isochord generally was an equation which was formulated by Van 't Hoff. As the name only suggests over here is that Van 't Hoff scientist, a scientist named as Van 't Hoff, he gave an equation wherein what he did was he formulated it in a manner that is that he could easily study the variation of equilibrium constants with the temperature. Now, if for example I say that log k value I'm going to study, that is log k is nothing but the equilibrium constant. Now, if I'm taking into consideration the equilibrium constant and if I'm studying that equilibrium constant in accordance to the variation with the temperature, that is called as the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation. Now, as the name only suggests, in the last lecture also, I had given you certain points regarding how do we calculate what is isochord, what is isotherm, and what are isobaric in nature. Now, if you have forgotten by any means of chance, what we can do is we can quickly revise what exactly do we mean by isochord, isotherm, and isobaric. Now, if for example I say I have an equation which is as isotherm. Now, what do I mean by isotherm? I already know that iso means what? Anything which is same. And therm means what? That thermal energy or the heat energy that is studied. So in isothermal equation, one thing or one factor that we need to remember is that temperature will always be a constant factor or its value will always be equal to 0. That is dt is going to be equal to 0 in the cases of isothermic equation. Now, if for example I say that I have isobaric equation, now what do I mean by isobar? We need to always remember that bar is a unit to measure pressure. So what will happen is anything which is taken into consideration at constant pressure or the pressure value to be as 0, that type of equations or that type of reactions are generally called as the isobaric reactions. Now, because in this particular lecture we are going to study in detail regarding the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation, we need to first understand what exactly is Van 't Hoff isochord. Now see, what we know is isochord, choric में हमेशा we need to remember that the value of volume, that is the concentration, is kept as a constant factor. That is, the value of dV, which is volume, is equal to 0. Now, this dt, dP, and dV are nothing but the differential changes in the temperature, pressures, and volume respectively. Now, because isochoric equation हम study करने वाले हैं, so we are going to study in detail regarding the entire equation wherein the volume factor or the concentration factor is kept as a constant value or which is almost near to equal to 0. Now, what we're going to do is, see, as you all know that we have in the Van 't Hoff isothermic equation, if you can recollect, we have already solved the equation as delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium. Now, if for any chance, if you're not able to recollect कि हम कहाँ से लाए थे, so let's just quickly revise once again. How do we get a value which is delta G0 is equal to minus RT KLN? So we already know that G, which was the free energy, है ना? So that free energy was dependent on what? It was a sum total of enthalpy and the temperature into entropy ka difference. Now, if I want to understand now that enthalpy, as by all means I know that enthalpy is equal to E plus PV, that is, it is equal to the internal energy, sum total of internal energy plus pressure and volume. So what I can do is I can substitute the value of E plus PV in this equation of H. So this equation turns out to be G is equal to E plus PV minus TS. Now, if I'm going to differentially calculate the values for this equation, what will happen is dG is equal to dE plus PdV. plus VDP minus TDS minus SDT will be the value. Now we need to also remember that, see, according to the first law of thermodynamics, I already know that dq is equal to dE plus PdV. And from the second law of thermodynamics, we know that ds is equal to dq upon t. तो हम अभी क्या करने वाले हैं? We are just going to simply place the value of dE plus PdV in this particular part of the equation as what? dq. So what I've done here is I've substituted the value of dE plus PdV as dq. अब देखो इस इक्वेशन में क्या बचेगा फिर? dg, that will be equal to what? Instead of dE plus PdV, I'm writing it as dq. Now this VDP is going to remain as it is. We know that क्योंकि VDP में तो हम कोई change कर नहीं रहे हैं. So VDP is going to remain as it is. Then we will have minus TDS. Now because we know that TDS की जगह DS की जगह, that is a small differential change in the entropy की जगह हम क्या लिख रहे हैं from the second law of thermodynamics as dq upon t. So यहाँ पे हम लिख देंगे TDS is equal to T into dq upon t minus it will be SDT. Now SDT will remain as it is because there is no change in the differential temperature in this particular case. अब ये वाला इक्वेशन जब हमने सॉल्व आउट किया तो हमें पता चला कि टेम्परेचर factor can be easily nullified from the equation, and so the value of dq, because once it is minus dq and in other case it is plus dq, so obviously that are also going to be nullified from the equation. So the value will turn out to be dg, that is equal to VDP minus SDT. The value will turn out to be dg is equal to VDP minus हम SDT ले लेंगे. अब क्योंकि देखो पहले वाले केस में हमने क्या लिया था, हमने आइसोथर्मिक केस में अगर हम कंसीडर करते थे तो उसमें हम ऑब्वियसली टेम्परेचर को कांस्टेंट फैक्टर लेते हैं, लेकिन जब हम आइसोकोरिक स्टडी करने वाले तो हम वॉल्यूम को कांस्टेंट फैक्टर लेंगे. So this part of the equation will automatically will be considered as a constant factor. So what will happen is PV is equal to nRT from the ideal gas equation हमें पता ही है. तो हम क्या करने वाले हैं, वहाँ पे वैल्यू सॉल्व आउट करके we will finally obtain the value which is G is equal to G0 plus RT ln K. Now this is what? This G0 plus RT, that is G0 delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium. That is nothing but the K equilibrium will have all the values of the PCC, PDD and PAA and PPB. Now what were these? These were the moles of the different reactants as well as products that were taken into consideration. Now because we have substituted directly in this, we have started off directly in this equation from delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln K equilibrium. So now I also need to get an idea regarding how to solve this particular equation. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to place up the value of ln K equilibrium as minus delta G0 upon RT. So what I've done over here is मैंने यहाँ पे खाली rearrange करके रख दिया है. So I've made K equilibrium, that is ln K equilibrium, as my constant factor, and I'm rearranging this particular equation in the form of minus delta G0 upon RT. तो अब क्या हो जाएगा, इधर minus delta G0 की जगह हम क्या लिख देंगे, we can also substitute the value of delta G0 as what? Minus H0 minus T delta H0, जो हमने already अभी study किया है, that delta is equal to what? G is equal to H minus TS होता है ना, तो हमने because delta G0 ले रहे हैं, that is standard value ले रहे हैं free energy का, so in this particular case we will be writing it as minus delta H0 upon T delta H0, and that is also divided by RT. अब अगर मैं इंडिविजुअल फॉर्म में इस इक्वेशन को लिखना चाहूँ तो ये कुछ इस प्रकार से हो जाएगा, दैट इज डेल्टा H0 अपॉन RT, एंड मैं इसको वापस से लिख सकती हूँ माइनस. अब because I already have a minus sign in the initial, so this will automatically turn out to be what? A positive sign. So plus T delta H0 upon RT. इंडिविजुअली अगर हम इक्वेशन को रीफ्रेम करके लिखेंगे तो now because I already know that T is in the numerator as well as in the denominator, that can be easily nullified. So what we are left with in the equation is that delta that ln K equilibrium value will be equal to minus delta H0 upon RT plus delta H0 upon R, because T has already been nullified from the equation. So what will happen is ln K1 value will be equal to what? Now I'm taking two equilibrium constants into consideration. So if for example, let's say I have 1 and 2, so what will happen is LMK equilibrium will be equal to minus delta H0 upon RT1 plus delta H0 upon R. And similarly, LMK2 will be equal to what? Minus H0 upon RT2 plus delta H0 upon R. So what is generally happening is all the values are turned out to be in two different equilibrium constant form. Now, if I have to take the summation value, if I have to take the combined value, what I can do is I can easily subtract the other from, the second one from the first one. So what is happening is lnk2 minus lnk1 will be equal to what? Delta h0 upon r. You can take it as a common factor. Why? Because this is common in both the sides of the equation. And this is obviously constant also in one consideration, gas constant. So delta h0 upon r, 1 upon t1 minus 1 upon t2. Now, if I have to rearrange this equation, I can also rearrange and write it in the form of what? Ln k2 upon k1 is equal to delta h0 upon r, that is into multiplied by 1 upon t1 minus 1 upon t2. Now, what we need to remember is this equation can be rewritten in the elaborated form by placing all the values as log of k2 upon k1 is equal to 2.303, that is delta h0 upon 2.303 r t2 minus t1, LCM लेके ऊपर ले गए हम लोग, t2 minus t1 upon t1 into t2. Now this entire equation that has been formed is called as the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation. Now what factors do we need to remember while forming the Van 't Hoff isochoric equations is that pehla cheez to this entire equation has been carried out at constant volume conditions. Second important thing, this equation is generally used to calculate the values, to calculate the equilibrium constant values and the temperature that has been already specified in the numericals. अब आपको question क्या प्रकार से आ सकते हैं? You can be asked a question of a 7 marker that explain in detail regarding the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation. So what you need to do is you need to summarize the entire equation. You need to solve the entire equation. And if, for example, you have been asked in a 14 marker question, so the question can be reframed in a manner that explain in detail the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation. And along with that, you will be asked one numerical to solve, taking into consideration the same formula. That is the same equation that you need to use for calculating the values of the numerical. So the final value, which is, for example, if any numerical has been asked to you, what you need to remember is this final equation. And what you can simply do is you can place up all the values which are there given for the temperature scale. That is, mostly the temperature values will be given in accordance to degrees Celsius. What you need to do is you need to convert the entire degrees Celsius temperatures that have been given in the question in the form of Kelvin. For example, आपको दिया गया है 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस दिया गया है. So what you can do is you need to simply add 27 plus 273. So what will happen is the final answer will be equal to what? 7, 3, 10 hota hai. 7, 8, 9, 10 again. So it will be what? 300 Kelvin. So what we are going to do is whenever we are converting the entire equation which is already given in the Celsius form, we will convert it in the Kelvin form by placing the simple equation, that is by adding 273 into the equation, or 273 in the value that has been already mentioned in the temperature conditions. So this was all about the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation. Generally, the Van 't Hoff isochoric equation can also be asked in combination with the Van 't Hoff isotherm equation. The formula remains almost the same, that is the initial beginning formula in both the scenarios will always be remaining the same. What you need to do is you just need to once consider the value in isothermal equations, the value of temperature as a constant factor. And by taking that temperature as a constant factor, what you need to do is you need to place up the values. What you need to do is you need to just place up the values of an ideal gas equation, which is PV is equal to nRT, and then you will be able to solve the further equation of Van 't Hoff isotherm and isopore. Okay, so we have already completed most of the important questions. We have already gone through once all the important questions. In the coming video lecture series, we'll be focusing on the other two units or other two portions of this unit, that is the Kraft equation and the Trotton's rule, that is also generally being commonly asked in your Gujarat University syllabus. So what you can do is till here you can go, you can revise whatever we have studied so far, so that in the coming video series lecture, what you can do is you can simply revise and you can simply learn a new topic. So till that time, take care and keep on revising, and we'll catch up in the next video session. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for attending.